Hi, welcome to the Accountability Experiment. This video series is two people, myself and my friend Aaron, holding each other accountable to reaching our goals. We've got some bigger goals for ourselves, and these are the real, raw conversations of us holding each other accountable to going after our bigger dreams and missions. And the intention of this channel is one for people to get inspiration from our conversations, and the other goal and vision for this channel is for people to listen to these conversations and say, "Man, I want to go after my goal," and then they reach out on this channel and comment, reach out to me, and we actually have a recorded conversation. We put it up on the channel of defining this person's goals, your goals maybe, and your vision, and the actions you need to take in order to reach your goals. And then we put those conversations here on YouTube for other people to be inspired by your vision and your mission and the things that you want to do in the world. And creating a community of people that are listening and watching and helping each other and reaching out to each other to actually help those dreams come true for each other. So I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you'll see Charlie in the background. He's my rubber chicken. I help empower people to not let fear hold them back and basically not be a chicken. There's a whole bigger there's a bigger, deeper, meaningful story behind Charlie and these little tiny rubber chickens that I give away. Anyways, I've given away about 1,500 and helping people, and part of my mission is to give away 10,000 of these little things. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the channel. I hope you enjoy the episodes. They're raw, they're unedited. They're just real conversations of people going after their goals and the things that come up in life. And I hope they make a difference for you. And if you got any questions, or if you want to be a part of a conversations to reach your goals, reach out and we'll see what we can do. Have a great day.
Slightly open. Hey, wait a minute. I didn't agree. You
Aaron
have the
does not
power.
like the AI recording his stuff.
Right, exactly. I don't have the power anymore. Now you have the power.
You got the power.
Exactly. And you got your look at you got your cool shirt on. Right
I
on.
mean,
I know. It's
yeah.
I always want to say wiffle ball. It's your wiffle ball shirt.
I'm a wiffle ball shirt. I'm in a wiffle ball league, not professional wiffle
Wiffle
ball
ball
player.
league, bringing out the kid in you again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go play some
that's what
wiffle
pickleball
ball.
does. I just watched.
Yeah, yeah.
I just watched grown men play two like 12 and 13-year-old girls, and it was a competitive game.
Yeah. It's
It's
funny,
such
man.
like the sport's such like an equalizer, like because the speed of the ball and yeah, it's cool. It's
Yeah, I
yeah,
think so too. I mean, it's still fresh and new. I mean, obviously people are getting good enough at it now. There is starting to be a separation, but because the culture, I really think it's as long as the culture keeps fighting to stay that open framework of just come, join somebody, play.
yeah,
I hope it lasts, man. I think it's a great sport.
yeah. All right, well, let's jump into accountability. I already you wanna jump in with yours and share. I'm just gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up the sheet, and then we'll get into. Then we'll get into like weekly actions here. I'm looking at this, and just because I forgot about this, our emails are on here, and I'm gonna not share the screen right now, just in case we ever have to go back and edit these. Just privacy. There could be some person out there that finds these and just wants to create spam or whatever. I might
Good
have to
point.
change it on the other videos, but what were you saying?
That's a good point.
Um, so let me jump into yours and then we'll jump into mine. Let's see here. So last week you had finished out all the mediation forms. and then prep and record the conversations with Dagan on death, right?
Hmm.
um, so let's jump into mediation. So how did that go? Did you get those completed?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Any all right, awesome, good.
Yeah.
Move
Got
on to
them
the
all
next
done.
one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I did it, followed through, and yeah, I was stoked to get them done.
All right, prep and record for Dagon on the Death. It was like a podcast episode, right? That you were recording.
Correct, correct. Yeah, he canceled, so we didn't. That didn't end up happening. So
Does he
it's set for this Thursday.
does he need an accountability person?
He might need. He might need be looking for that. I'll give you his email.
Hey, quit canceling Aaron.
Yeah, exactly.
You're messing with him reaching his goals, man.
Yeah, I'm like
Yeah,
I didn't get my extra star for the week, so
I just came up with an idea, like, you know how like they have the mafia and like they come after you to collect their money, but my
yeah.
my accountability would be like the accountability mafia. Yo, you didn't do your thing, and now Aaron can't do his thing. How are you gonna fix this?
How are you gonna fix this? You need to fix this. You need to make this right.
You want to come pay for my services now? I'll help you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, cool. So, you got that stuff done. That's awesome. Um, any insights or anything show up during last week that you want to share?
Um, yeah, nothing came up for me last week. I think coming up and setting the schedule this
Hmm.
week, but it's more of a combination of working the structure, the platform. So,
Yeah.
and 'cause it sounds like you're messing with some stuff. So I think I have comments on that just because as I'm trying to flow and create, because I created my own structure, and you'll see like for my next week's stuff, it can't fit into that little little
Yeah.
tab
Let
thing.
me. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it doesn't
Um,
doesn't work.
holy
I
moly, Jesus! What the hell, dude? It's like
yeah,
huge.
like I could share with you my screen because I
Uh,
kind of expect,
I
to
got it
be
right here.
honest,
I'm looking at it right here.
yeah, I kind of expect people to want a better. I know I'm speaking to me, so this is that exchange of collaboration right now. I
Yep.
want to bet like that other platform you had that you were playing with,
Yeah.
like yeah, that was like great. It showed I was able to break down a bunch of different tasks,
Yeah.
time, check.
No, Asana is great. I'm not.
I don't
Uh,
know it though. I just saw the platform.
it it's great, and um, it gets expensive quick because you can only have like two users,
Uh,
and then that's 25, $30 a month, and then for scaling it up and having multiple people, it doesn't work for the
got it.
vision I have of having, which could be a lot of people. Um, so um, this is one of those points in an entrepreneur's journey when you I believe you just have to kind of keep moving and figuring it out, like, okay, this thing isn't working, but the goal of continuing to make progress is still happening. Like, you're still taking
Sure.
action. We don't have like the perfect, drill, and it's going to do everything that you need right now, but we've got a hand drill and it's still making holes and you're still making progress, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I came back with like that question of like, ah, dang it, like I got this thing and I paid for it and I tried it out and I thought it was going to work, but the forms were not. Um, we have in order to do this, I want two forms, one for the main goal and one for the weekly actions to keep it super simple. Well, as soon as I signed up, um, unless I go to like the super pro plan, which gets expensive faster. Um, I only get one form. And I was like, what? Ah, like this
Hmm.
is, yeah. So it was like one of those, you sign up and then they're like, you need to pay more in order to use these other features. I was like, okay, well, I understand I have to
And you
invest in
explore.
this.
Yeah, I get it. You explore. I noticed for me, like but I hopped on my link anyways, and I was like, oh wait, why I'm like, oh, I'm getting to use this because of the link you gave me, which I wasn't sure because you did tell me not to use it, and then this morning I saw like a reminder, which was probably just
Yeah, it's
the
just a system.
Asana. It was just doing its thing. And so anyways, I hopped on and I was like, oh, this is kind of sick. And it was just, I just picked the task thing. I wasn't doing any form thing. I just picked the tasks and I just was like, bing, 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 bing. And then it asked me who's am I collaborating with? And I was like, oh, that's super
Yeah.
easy. Check.
Or like a management of projects and just between me and you, or just like as a group and you have access to it and you've paid for it, it's incredible. It's awesome and amazing. But if I want just, people out there on the internet to be able to fill out a form, and go to it, it doesn't work the way that I'm thinking. Now, I could revisit this later, and this could be something that, like, oh, I didn't realize it has some feature that I didn't know about or something. But for the time being, I might just have to, I'm just going to keep looking for different types of software that will work for what I have in mind. Um,
Okay.
um, so that said, you still made progress. And this week, let me look at this. So I'm just going to read these out. First thing he says, 8 to 10. First thing you shared was 8 to 10, Monday through Friday work schedule, 8 to 10 a.m. Um, time clock text Brad at 8 a.m. So you want to clarify what you mean there? Just you're
Yeah,
going
I'm
to
just gonna
work at 8?
I'm through that way through my text texting, it
Mm-hmm.
shows I'm checking in because I'm getting a little liberal with my start time.
Oh, okay.
And so yeah, I want a little more accurate accountability so that you'll get a text. And
All right.
I do that with my other job because it's great. I'm able to like, I guess I just do good physically and like, okay, cool, clocking in.
Yeah.
And it's like, did I clock in on time or whatever? Did I, and it's like, it's a great way to have a reference. And so my accountability to you is you to see that. And so if you were my accountability partner, which you are, you'd be collaborating with me and you're like, oh, well, dude, this week I look back on your stuff and you only clocked in at 8 o'clock once. I thought you wanted to clock in at 8 every day. So that's what that
Okay,
means.
so you're gonna text me every day at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yep.
And number two is get Dagan on and me on the same page on the platform to use for podcast notes. Share what you mean by that. I think I understand, but I want to make sure.
Yeah, we're gonna. He actually texted me today, so it's that one I'm already done with.
Oh, you're
Um,
already
yeah, well, it
done.
just
Okay,
worked out.
cool.
He texted me back. We're using the notes through Apple iPhone, so
Okay, cool.
we sharing a note.
All right. So number three is prepare Wednesday night for Thursday recording. I'm assuming that's tomorrow. Um, okay, that's pretty straightforward. Four is record podcast with Dagan Thursday morning. Straightforward. Tidy up audio files on computer to make sure storage is in a consistent place. That seems pretty straightforward. Audacity process simplified with template. Okay, share more about that.
You'll probably run into that too. It's just getting the format down of a consistent way of how you record the show, the podcast, because you get like you got little different sections where you can record the name and then you record what it's about. And then
Mhm.
when you're doing Audacity, there's certain filters and processes of compression. And so sometimes you can get skewed off. And I've been trying to get it really trimmed down. So I just have a pattern because I only come at it every once in a while. It's like, it's not like my full-time job and still not a rhythm yet, you know?
Yeah.
So it's hopping in. Okay, cool. Do the edits, go to this because some of these platforms are pretty vast and you can get really deep into Audacity and editing and all that stuff. I'm just trying to keep it simple. So yeah, build my quick template. Okay, wait, step one, that's right. Because I have to like change because Zoom, you'll see Zoom is an MP4 file. I have to change it down to an MP3 so that I can mess with it. And so there's different things you have to end up doing. I have to go to and I do it all with different free outlets just right now. And since
I
I'm the
think the
editor,
one I think the one on Spotify does a lot. Spotify bought a company, and that company before, I forget the name of it, had like the a really streamlined podcasting like upload process. Like you
Yeah.
could record on the app, it would automatically upload it. You could break out little templates for like your beginning of the show, your ending of the show. It even had the advertising kind of stuff like built in with it. So Spotify bought that. So if you use Spotify's podcasting tool, um, it might make it a little bit simpler. Uh, and then I think they distribute it to all the other networks too, like Apple and all that. I'm not.
I assume I'll look into it. Thanks for the lead. I did. I think if I recalled, I looked into it. I just wasn't at a place to pay for it. I'm not at a place to pay for stuff yet. So
So yeah, I thought it was free. So I'm not, because they get money, they generate money on the content. But yeah, if you need
I'll
questions,
double check it.
let me know. Finalize Gen Speak. What's that mean?
Is that after that? I can't see it on my page.
Yeah, it was after the Audacity process. It says finalize Gem Speak.
Oh,
And
I
it
think
has
that's just, yeah, that's part of what I was, it's a combo, that same stuff. It's on the same line, right? It's number, it's just a reminder of the Gen Speak stuff, making sure the copy's right, that I have the copy right.
with, uh, is that with the Audacity process?
Yeah. No, it's actually my other platform. I mean, I can explain it all to you. But it's like, it's just a process of labeling things. It's another thing that you have to label. So it's like, all right, am I going to consistently say generation speaks with the colon? Because I want it to always look the same.
Okay.
So,
So are
so
you, yeah, are you clear? It sounds like you're clear on the outcome of what you want. That's where I'm kind of leading with this.
yeah. No, I'm definitely, yeah. I mean, definitely, yeah, I'm clear. Right.
Okay, so you're clear on what you need to accomplish over the next week, like timelines. That's what I'm hearing. So this is cool.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I want you to see that and obviously connect with it for sure. Because right now
Yeah,
you're my accountability partner. So that's why I gave 5 solid points that you'll be able to go and reference me on and see
yeah.
if I got that stuff done.
Okay, cool. Um,
That's why like the last one I think is what tidy up audio, yeah, Audacity process simplified with template. Oh, and that's after that. Yeah, those are and then finalize Gen Speak. Oh, I see it there. Now I see what you're talking about. Yeah, that's the same. That should like the way this copy pasted in my thing. Those
mhm.
are under the Audacity process simplified with template. One of them's finalize the Gen Speak podcast. The way the template looks for that, the header layout template and the description layout template. Like all those 3 things are under that whole process.
Okay, cool. I don't need to know all the details. I'm asking to make sure you're clear. And, it's just this part of this process, right?
Yep.
Um, okay. Hey, quick question. I forgot. I'm using a new webcam. That's actually not new, but I've had it, and it's better video quality, and I think it's got a speaker in it. So how does this sound to you?
Pretty much all the same. Everything looks clear, maybe even a little bit clearer. There is a little slight clearness to it for sure.
Yeah.
Um, as far as the audio, yeah, I can't quite tell the distinction because I'm on a cheaper laptop. I bet you if I had my headphones on, I'd be able to give you a better response back. But you sound good, you sound clean.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
Well, maybe if you clean your ears, you could tell the distinction between the old.
that might help. That might help. Yeah, get that going. Totally. No, that dude, audio is super important. That's why I'm struggle. I prefer definitely when I do my recordings with the Dagon and stuff, I
Mhm.
use my headphones. Big
Yeah, no, I
difference.
think you sound okay with me, but it's not. Yeah, it's not a. Like I'm trying to. What I'm trying to do here is just do the bare bones and
Yeah.
just keep the core of things moving, so that there's when people are watching, listening, whatever, that it's not like some super fancy thing, and we can have this historical reference of like, oh, you guys are just recording with like crappy stuff. Cool. All that matters is what we're saying right now. This is the core of the stuff, right? Um,
Agreed. I think
okay.
with what your project is, you're safe because you're just trying to record. the exchange, and you want it. I
Yeah.
would agree. You want it as easy accessible as possible. You don't want that person's like, yep, you got to get a mic and you got to get the proper stuff, proper camera. Yeah, I think not worth it.
Yeah.
Me, I'm definitely working with people that I'm asking them to use their headphones or something like that because I'm focused all on audio and not visual. And there's a definitely
Yeah.
difference. You can hear big differences with people's when
No.
they mic
Yeah,
up.
no, I agree. And as this gets better and as we improve and as, once we get like a first guest and like second guest or, people that we're helping and helping them move into their stuff, we'll get there. I'm not worried about that. So, all right. Anything else for this week?
No, not on my list. No.
So cool. Those are all awesome. What was your biggest win?
Felt good to have my all my mediation stuff done finally.
Yeah.
Like I've taken like way too long to do that. I keep piecing away at it, and so
Mhm.
having this be like a decisive end game I was just really glad. Yeah, I feel motivated to be like, okay, this is. I keep. I've chosen to keep. I've brought it up before. It's like I'm choosing this to be like my weekly manager meeting where I have to show up at my manager's meeting and they're checking in with me to go, all right, what'd you get done this week? And there's like, I think I do really that's a powerful thing for entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs are often creative types and artistic types, and so to have that structure, it's what I think what you're trying to engage in with this process. It's just like, yep, shit, I got to show up Monday and present, what I did. So
I think you're right. I was having this discussion with another entrepreneur. He owns a moving company here, and once you become an entrepreneur, like the biggest motivation for people is like screw my boss, or like I want to be my own boss and I'll have all this freedom and I could control
yeah,
everything. And then as soon as people leave, the reality hits them that the structure of a successful business, probably what they just left, they might not like it or not, but the structure is actually working. One, they have employees, they've got a boss, like that structure works, right?
yeah,
You might not like it, but as soon as you step out of that structure, you're now hit with the reality of like, oh, my boss's job was to keep me accountable to doing
yeah,
my job, keep the
totally,
business running. And now you're an entrepreneur and you're like, well, it's freedom. And then you're the one holding yourself accountable and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go play pickleball and I'm gonna go watch some
exactly,
TV and I'm not
yeah.
gonna work on the
And
stuff
you
that's
might
really
keep it going. You're like, okay, good. 9 o'clock becomes 9:15. Next week, 9:30. Like, pretty soon you're starting at 10 o'clock.
yeah.
And then
Yeah,
it's all
let's just not work today. It's just not worth it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So why
good.
aren't you reaching your goals? I don't know. I think it's everybody
I don't
else's
know.
fault.
Yeah,
No one's
exactly.
calling me back.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've done it. I've been yeah. We're both exchanging this knowledge together. I've been through it, an entrepreneur all my
Yeah,
life, and so yeah, I know it's also important to have people that are willing to do this, that
yeah,
really are convicted to show up. And yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep seeing what the framework skeleton you keep building, because yeah, I think it's gonna be solid.
yeah. All right, so let's jump into mine. So I'm just going to share mine. So I said I get the website done and the forms done. I believe the website is done. It's still a tweak in progress, but you can now go to you can now go to the website accountable.sparksofcourage.com, and it has got the listing, it's got the story, it's got it's just a landing page, and I like it. Right? Still
Okay.
not. It's always. I don't know if it's always going to be a work in progress. There's a few things that will be tweaked. I did some tweaking today, um, and so I got that done. I feel good about that. I feel good of where that's at. Now the texting and the email as a part of that. I got the um, I got the emails set up by the guy who set them up and the text set up. But I ran into a snag which I didn't foresee, is that I needed to move my email over to my new domain server. So I had to get that set up, and because of that, I still don't have it fully, so whenever someone signs up, they're going to get an email. And I'm kind of thinking, I don't even know if I want to use email. I may just want to use texting to keep it super simple because I don't want to send out tons of emails all the time. So, either way, uh, I'm sorry, not either way, but the other part of that was the text messaging. And I took another step with that as well. And I kind of hit a roadblock because in order to send out text messages, you have to have a registered business because they want your phone number to be registered under a business. So that creates it's a good regulatory thing. So it does, so you just can't get a ton of spam. We already get enough crappy text messages as it is. This is one of those gates, so they can track, at least here in the United States. So because of that, that forced me to go, oh, I need to go get my business registered here in Florida and to walk down the steps. And before I was kind of like, oh, am I going to do this or not? And now I'm like, okay, let's just get it done and move it forward. So I'm in the process of that. I tried to do that over this weekend, but the Florida Florida website, which I was trying to fill out the incorporation files, it wasn't allowing me to finish on the website for whatever reason. Kept coming up with an error. So I need to get that submitted, and then I need to get the EIN basically for the business, and then be able to input that information into the website so it can use the text messages. So
Hmm.
all that to say is I
That's
did.
because you want to do group. That's because you want to do group texts, like be able to do like mass
No,
texting.
well, like, you ever sign up on a website and they ask for your phone number?
Yeah.
Um, in order for that system to send out, that system has to be registered to a business. At least that's what I'm learning. Because you're not going to get a text from me, you're going to get a text from a system, and that system has to be associated to some sort of number or whatever, right?
Right.
Um, and so they've got to register that phone number and tie it back to something.
Hmm.
Uh, and so they want to be able to tie it back to a business for legitimate purposes. So, anyways, it's just one of those things like when you start a business, like um, there's sometimes lots of little things to do in order to actually like fully, open the doors and get things going. The good
No,
thing
I
is,
hear that. I hear definitely. I'm with you. I think like one workaround that I did is just because I know the cost of each thing, so I'm not too sure. Like I used Google number. I created my own personal Google number.
yeah,
And that gives me, and I'm able to have that on my phone. So I
mm,
have I have a Kid Advocate has its own number, 619-800-0468. And
mm.
I can get texts and calls and answering machine, and I can text out from it. I can do all of that, which I assume I don't think I didn't have to have it registered to, at least right now, because especially what I'm doing is that personal back to forth. So, but I mean, eventually you're obviously scaling this up, so makes sense, I guess.
Um, so which that leads me to my other thing that I said I would be accountable for, which is showing you the business structure. So I did get that done. Let me find that really quick, and then I'll share with
And you
you.
said your complete website, which I did see, and then your forms are just the same forms that you had before, the Google forms, right?
Yeah, and a piece of that is like I still want to find a system that will work for people being able to just submit, you know. All right, here it
Because you
is.
had your second action plan was easily find forms for better scaling. What is
Yeah,
that?
so that was like the Asana. That's what I was looking for in Asana. So basically, I did get it done, but it's not what I wanted. Like I found it and then I took the action, I paid for it, and then after investigation, it didn't work to the way that I thought.
Okay.
So, anyways, I'm giving myself grace that I uh, didn't get it completely full or finished.
No
So
worries.
let me share.
Since I'm your accountability partner, I'll give you some grace in a minute. But right now, I'm still trying to make sure you don't get grace yet. You don't get to give yourself grace. I'm here to help you.
I'm giving me grace.
No, not yet. Not until you win. I don't. What is that? Remember in our men's group, it's like, all right, enough story. What's really going on? So I'm not saying you're doing that, but I'm like,
No,
all right,
I took the actions.
yeah,
I took the
that's what I'm checking
actions.
in on. That's why I'm just pushing you,
Yeah.
just like you were pushing me a minute ago. Like there's clear, definable checks because that's what I want to be able to do for you. I told you I'd do that for you this year. So
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so
No,
easily
so like,
find
uh,
form. So you don't have an easily to find form. You're not there yet on that.
yeah. And
So because
so, um, all right, let me share what this, can you see my screen?
yep.
Okay. So I
I mean,
try to
I
make
have that. I have it up right now. I have that Excel sheet up right now.
this one, the one I'm sharing.
Maybe not. What I can barely. It's so small print. It's what am I? Yeah, I think we're all. Well, no,
Boom.
I'm on the. Oh yeah, are you on your goals?
Yeah. Just look at the screen I'm sharing.
Yeah, you have it. It's so small. Let me change. Let me change my view.
What are you looking at? Are you looking at your phone?
No, I'm looking on my computer. I can. If you're bringing up your. Remember how you shared with me the accountability um Excel sheet? So I have that. Maybe you're changing it right now. So let me switch up.
No, I'm sharing a different sheet. This is
Got it.
has nothing. This is the business plan that I said I would come up with.
Got it. Sparks Career Development Business Plan. Different. Yep, I see it. Sheet one, sheet two. Got it. I'm with you now.
Okay. So, um, I did some research and some try to keep this as simple as possible. It took me a little bit of time to kind of wrestle my own overthinking through things. And I found this video a while ago. It's like how to find your life purpose in like 5 minutes, or how to share your life purpose in 5 minutes. And it walks you through these questions. Who are you? What do you do? How do you do it? That kind of question, or those kind of questions. And so that was like the beginning. And so, who am I, Brad Finkeldine? What do I do? I help entrepreneurs stay accountable so they reach their goals. How I do it: powerful coaching conversations that get them to take massive action. How I get business: um, I share my story with other entrepreneurs and other or entrepreneurial groups, and on YouTube. And I have conversations where where entrepreneurs are moved to take actions on their dream. Um, so that's the basics, like the how I get business. Like I'm gonna start going to business networking groups and connecting, networking, talking about my story, sharing success, testimonies, stuff like that. Um, And then I also want to be, I'll be uploading this video as well so people can hear and listen and watch and kind of follow along. And the structure of the business, as far as like payments, still flushing things out, but this is what I've come up so far. My first goal is to replace my, um, let me insert this. This was big news last week. You already know this, but my company laid off like 100 and some odd people, and I was one of those people. So I lost my full-time job last week, and that forced me into like, are you going to do this or not? Like the rubber hits the road. So um, I was like, well, I need to figure out my sales goals, and I need to figure out what I need to live off of. And my current expenses are around $2,500, actually a little less than that. So I figured my first goal should be replace that income, right? So I need to be able to do that, and I want to do that within 3 months. And that's my goal right now. I don't want to overcomplicate it, but the next level would be to get $5,000 in recurring revenue and then $10,000 in recurring revenue. Um, and what I am doing right now is what I've mapped out is a coaching program where people get access to 2 open office hours a week and um, one personal coaching session, a month or a couple times a month. Still figuring that out, and I'm gonna have that laid out so it's very straightforward. So it's up here, and I can be confident when I'm talking to people about it, and be like, yeah, for $297 a month, you get open office hours 2 times a week, where you can jump in, get accountability, flesh out, your questions or whatever you're going through that you need to get straight, and then one coaching session, either a month or two a month or whatever it is, where it's more personal, where they can talk about their blocks and things going on in their life where they're really stuck inside of something and get a breakthrough. Um, and so I needed 8.4 people in order to accomplish that. I don't know where I'm going to find point four of a person,
Yep.
but maybe some little kids or something like that. Uh,
8.4 a week or
no,
an
8.4 people total. So 9 people is what I need.
yeah, you need
So
nine
I need
people to
9 people
commit
to reach my goal.
monthly.
Say what?
Is to try and understand your numbers and language. You're saying you need 9 people paying a monthly fee
Hmm.
to
Yes.
meet your 2,500. Okay.
Yep. So
All
I
right.
need that. And I even had a conversation this morning with someone, and he was giving me marketing suggestions and going over some things, and then we got into his business, and it was really prevalent that he could probably use something like this because he wants to move in a new direction, and he's procrastinating, he's not taking the actions, he's not doing the things. And I'm like, and I just did my thing. I said, okay, well, when are you gonna call that person? When are you gonna do this? When are you gonna do that? And that moved the needle. So now he's in action. He's going to call that person, start to move his business in the direction where he wants to take it, because he's been kind of stuck. He's not been kind of stuck, he's been stuck. So, and that felt good. And I was like, oh, this might just be one of my first clients. I don't know. Um, but it felt good to have that conversation. It felt good to be like in the mix of being me. And so um, that's the business plan right now. I don't want to overcomplicate it because I'll try to perfect it. And the only thing I really need to worry about right now is getting those first 9 people. And then after that, some things will shift and change. And then, I might have a different type of program, or I don't know. I'm not going to worry about that. I just want to focus on the one thing and continue to keep that growing. So, and I also had the insight. I've been listening to uh, this other entrepreneur, Alex Hermosi. He's super successful, and he's got a lot of like really straightforward like business talk, and I just like how he shares his stuff. He shares basically, especially when you're first starting out, you cannot focus on anything but just one business. Like, and for me, that means like the pickleball shirt stuff. I can't focus on it, so
Yeah, right.
I'm just not going to put any more effort into it. Like, it's just, it takes away time and effort, and I'm not getting the results because I've been scattered all over the place around with different things. So now I'm just going to focus on the accountability coaching business and go from there.
Sounds good.
So um, this next week, my goal is to get the incorporation done, and
Get the
that's
what done? Sorry, the what
get
done?
the incorporation done. Uh, and the registering the business with the state of Florida, basically. So that way I can have a um, properly file paperwork, and, have everything that is needed to say that you're, an official business and stuff like that. That way I can open up a Google My Business um, uh, business listing on Google that will help with reviews and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of things that will help open doors too, and just basically say, hey, you're a legit business, and um, yeah, move the needle on that. So that's my to do for the next week. I've got other things. I've got other things that I will be doing, but that's going to be the main focus, and that feels good. So, any questions or
Uh,
feedback? I know we're a little over time.
Um, yeah, I got reflection and feedback. Um, yeah, take it for what it is, I guess. Yeah. In my business sense, like I know when I've jumped on stuff, like to push a little harder, and this is actually coming from your words. It doesn't sound like you have enough listed, in my opinion. Doesn't sound like you have enough bullet points or what were you call needles to mark and see and go. That's I'm hearing a little bit kind of like a broad thing because I'm like, oh yeah, you register your fictitious name, you sign up with the thing, like that would be a thing. Yep, finish my. That's like one bullet point, and I'm assuming that's you're not working. So I don't know how to say it to you. It's like, okay, so wait, you're not working anymore now. So that's how many hours a day, and you're going to try and pull off in 3 months. Sounds like to me like you would still you want to be working on your forms. You should have a I would think like are you set with your forms because it's partly isn't it getting your product more finalized? Because I'm in it with you and I'm like, yeah, no, these Google I wouldn't pay $297 a month for those Google form that form. Just heads up. Like I'm like, oh, I think Brad's got way more to offer to this like presentable thing because he's we're grinding this out right now. And I'm like, oh no, he's got better look, better show. So I think I would say you should have at least maybe this is what's the right way to ask this. My invitation is to say you should have like what, 5, 10 bullet points a week or something that you're trying to like accomplish that is really clear, measurable, so that when you come to this meeting, I mean, I'm totally being you right
Yeah.
now. I'm totally being you. Like, I want 5 or 10. If you pick that's like, okay, these are measurable. I almost don't even need to know story behind them or whatever. Whether, I have enough
Yeah.
business experience. It's like, oh yeah. So right now I see one fictitious name set registered thing. There's two things. Boom, boom. You know what I'm getting at? What I'm pushing for? I'm just pushing you.
Yeah, well, I do have another one. I decided, this last week I was like, oh, I could go talk to people, or I could wait till I get my website all figured out. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna go start talking to people. So I'm going tomorrow. I could put this on the list of like things. I didn't, but I didn't, and I'm doing it anyways. I'm going to a business networking BNI meeting, which is like where they pass. It's entrepreneurs that refer business to each other, for each other, so they grow all of their businesses together, basically. So, like um, someone who sells insurance works closely with a realtor, so it's like a good referral partner, right? Um, Anyways, they meet weekly, and every week everybody gets up and shares a short little story from their week or something they're looking for or whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyways, the point is that they're in a group together and they're growing their businesses together. And I'm going to go there tomorrow and just share about me and my story and my business. And that's what I want to be doing, like getting out there and talking to people and having conversations like I had today. This is the move the needle kind of stuff. Like getting the business thing filed, like that's one step. Yeah, it's important, blah, blah, blah. But the meat of everything are the conversations. And that's where I shouldn't tell you this, but that's where I should be measured. Because if you were like me, or let's say if you were like I've worked with business coaches before, and they really just they funnel everything down to what are the core actions you need to take to make money, and you should really only be working on those things until you get your goals, right? um, so for me, it's a number of conversations that I'm going to have with people. So hopefully you'll forget that and won't keep me accountable.
So there's my push. So yeah, I don't. You're not being measurable. So that should. I'm definitely saying that should be in your list. That's
Mhm.
that's what you want to be accountable for, not something general. So I would say when we look next Monday, I would think you'd have a good solid 4 measurable points. I'm shooting to talk to 4 people, or okay, I do have this form. I have picked 2 programs, sauna and blah 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 are the 2 ones that I've vetted and I like. So I'm not gonna pull the trigger on those yet because the income's not there yet. But I have 2 of them set because I'm hearing you still in the reflection of what your business is. You need you're doing an accountability thing. So people, I'm one of them. I need a place, unless you're expecting everyone to produce their own. I was thinking you're trying to get people to come to one hub and be able to go, cool. I'm punching in my tasks for this week. It's a quick
Mhm.
from our discussions, it's a quick, I do that on Mondays. I type it in, boom, and it's just this quick accountability process. That's my understanding.
Yeah.
Besides, that's the broader. That's what I thought you were starting. That's why I'm still pushing you for direct language. It's like, how do I put in my accountability things? Because I know there's the coaching part. That's this like thing that is the other side. But that's
Yeah.
mine. Part of your
So
program that
you're asking me to be more specific on my actions, so you know what to hold me
hold you
accountable
accountable
for.
for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So getting the LLC form or getting the business registered, I don't have control how long that will take, but I can work on getting that filled out as long as the website works. Like I will take those actions, right? It's on my list. And then having conversations with other entrepreneurs. And the thing that comes to mind is having 2 conversations this week, like just putting that out there, like have 2 conversations, and I had one today.
So you're like, oh, cool. I'm down one already. Just kidding. You're like,
Yeah. Like, why not, right?
pretty good.
Um, so 2 conversations.
So would you like to, how do you want to go about in your framing and in your form? How would you like to see that form? Is that what you're going to put in your form? Like your template?
Okay, so yeah, so how that would be how that will be filled out is how that will be filled out is um, that I have filled out the forms for the registration, and I've made 2 requests to have conversations with entrepreneurs around accountability for their businesses. I can't I can't say what someone else is going to commit to on the other side of that. All I can be responsible for is that I've taken the biggest action on my part of saying, "Hey, would you like to have a conversation about that?" Okay, let's schedule it. Maybe that's this week. Maybe it's next week. I don't know. You know,
Okay. I
but
have one
that's
more
in their
push for you. I
that's
have
in
one more. Sorry. I know, because I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
I care about you, man. I'm on fire for you right now. So I'm being, like I said, pushing to go. So I want to know in your language, how many hours a week are you committing to yourself to work on this?
Let's
Like
see.
staying focused and working on this project. Because you said
Mhm.
I heard a clear statement, 3 months. And 3 months, I want to be making 2,500. That's very precise. How during the week, how many hours right
Yeah,
now
yeah.
are you putting?
Hmm. I thought about this today, and I was like, if I block off my times in the morning from, let's say, 8 to 12, right? And so that's 4 hours, right, during the day. Um, so that's 20 hours a week.
Yep. That
Just
sounds
committing to
that's
getting, and probably there's gonna be other things. There's gonna be other things to do as well. So
cool. So that'll be in your bullet list. So you're working 20 8 to 4, 5 days a week. That's 20 hours. So what I'm hearing you say, it's going to take you 20 hours to have 2 conversations to get your fictitious business name, get registered with the government, and what was your third one? Anyways, you'll write it down. So that's what
yeah,
I'm
two
hearing you.
conversation, two invitations for conversations, um, 4 hours a day, and getting the business registered.
Okay. I'll hold, but that sounds good, man. So that's going to take you 20 hours. Yeah, right now I'm with you. I've got 2 hours a day. So I'm doing half that. So I'm only doing 10 hours a week trying to get my bullet list down, get those things accomplished. So cool, man.
Okay, cool.
Fired up.
All right. All right. We will end the recording now.